Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Yusuf Khan and with the YK Web Solutions, and today I brought you this video about JavaScript, primitive data and reference data types. If somebody is at beginner level of JavaScript, I believe this topic is very important to them, and it will increase your concept about primitive data and reference data types. What are data types? So what happens, all data handled by JavaScript has a data type, and which specifies the nature of data being handled. And it's also what I feel like, if there is no data type, right, it will have a problem to computer program to understand how to represent it and where to store. So normally data types are data are stored in their variables, which I explained you in my previous video. And this is something like we practice in every day when we write down script. So what is primitive data type? Let's see. The primitive data types are like a single value, right? And it's always represent a single value such as a number, boolean or strings, right? And the mechanism is, if you see in this picture, right, variable name type into expression. So we just write down this variable name, then the JavaScript interpreter looks up the variable from the memory, data in the memory, and return it to the copy of the memory to variable, and that's how it works, right? And what is reference data type? So I'm covering only the arrays in the data type, so it is a different mechanism little bit. And what happens is a variable name, interpreter locate the variable name and bring back the listed items. So arrays are reference data type and it's a list of values. So what happened, they use the single memory location to store multiple values in the thing. So in one variable you store different values. That's what happens. Now I show you the practical implementation of primitive and reference data types. So this is the basic HTML page here, and as you know, we start from the script tag. So as soon as we start in the script tag, it automatically comes, and I'm just writing down like a document dot write inside, yeah, and I'm giving h2 heading just to show, yeah, primitive data type, yeah, right, and then control S, and let's see, does it work? Yes, you can see it displayed the message. Now, oops, my mistake, I did not terminate it with semicolon. So now what happened, we will declare a variable. So this is a keyword var, yeah, we are declaring variable and we call it primitive var, oops, var1, and we assign value, let's see, 50, yeah. So then we repeat the same thing, yeah, this is var, and we write down the same name, primitive var1, but this time it's 2, it's another variable. And this time what I'm going to play is I'm assigning the value, if value of primitive var1 is equal to primitive var2, so it's the same value it will be. So what I do this, so they both have same value. It's a way to write the code. So when we are assigning value of the same variable, we do this, yeah. So we assign the value of another variable, we can do this. So this is something we do now. I will write down document dot write, yeah, and give expressions inside, and this time write using, right, the value of primitive var1 is equals to, now this time I'm closing the parenthesis here, yeah, and you need to understand the syntax. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the variable. So it will retrieve the value of the variable over there and terminate it. So what happened, I just wrote down document.write paragraph start the value of primitive var1 and finish it here with this, right? Then I had two pluses. I'm adding up the value of primitive var1. So what will happen, they will print this value, this is string, and then after that bring up the value of primitive var1 and then and it through paragraph closed. So wherever the HTML is coming, you use this double quotation, and wherever you are bringing the variable, you add up this button. Now let's see what happens. See, it printed me the value of var1 50. Now the same thing, what I do, I'm just writing again everything so it will help you to understand, memorize the syntax, but sometimes you get confused. When I was learning initially, I really used to get confused how to write down. So I know what actually can be a problem for yourself. So I'm write down everything again. The value of, now this time I'm printing the value of 2 is equals to, now it ends here. If you just do this, it will be nice space, yeah. And then what you do, you use 2 plus and then write down primitive var1 value, and then what happens, you need to start again double quotation and close your paragraph text. So wherever your HTML comes, you need to put double quotation, otherwise wherever you're bringing, see the value of primitive var2 is 50, same. Why? Because over here I assign the value of primitive 1 to primitive 2. If I change it to 27, yeah, Control S, you're gonna see the value of this will be 27. But just for your concept, I keep it same. Yeah, so this is something. Now what I do, again, I'm defining primitive variable, again declaring, and var primitive var2, yeah, and assigning value this time 27. So I declared it 27, yeah. And now I write down again document dot write, then inside paragraph start the value of primitive data variable is equals to, yeah, and then what I do, plus plus inside variable 1. So I'm showing the difference what's happened, and then this, yeah, close your paragraph tag, that's it. And in the same way, now this time copying pasting, so it will save your time, yeah. Control C, Control V, so this time is 2 and 2. So you're gonna see what happened now. See, the primitive variable 1 is 50, and because I assigned it to variable 2 value assigned was variable 1, it was printed 50. Then I again, the value thing, value. So the value of primitive var1, it remained the same because it never changed. It was same like it was declared on the above, primitive var1. So it brought me same value, yeah, it displayed the same value, and this time, Control S, yeah. And the last value, the primitive var2, is 27. The reason is because I declared it again. So the same my point is over here the same primitive var2 is equal to primitive var1. So at this time it printed me the same value of 50, but after when it printed these values, right, I declared another value and I changed the value from 50 from equals to primitive var1 to 27. And then it printed again var1 value, and then the value of primitive var2 is 27. So this is something, it worked like this, right? And as you can see, even though the assigned of primitive var1 to primitive var2, the value of primitive var1 did not change when we changed the value of primitive var2. In other words, each variable reference had their independent value, so that's what it printed. Yeah, but now I changed little bit my text for references. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to use some objects this time. Yeah, so now I'm getting changed a little bit. What I do, I open a new page, Control N, save it. The first one was me, that this time is you, which I'm going to use for reference data type for JavaScript. Yeah, HTML. Yeah, and what I do, oops, what's wrong again, it was delete, yes, and this time HTML dot HTML. Is it dot? No, it's not dot. Right, it's not dot. Control layers. Good. Yes, this one should be Control S. Should be dot HTML. What's happening? Dot HTML, and we select HTML extension. Boom. Yeah, and as soon as we write down HTML, whole structure came up. Reference data type. Yeah, in the reference data type, this is a title, and then we write down script as I explained to you. Now everything should be in the script tag. Yeah, in the script tag we just start writing the same thing. First I write down document dot write, yeah, and that will be reference data type, and boom. But inside I want it h2, closing h2, yeah, and then open the folder and you're gonna see reference data type. So in the reference data type, now this time it's little bit different, right? We use same keyword var to declare the variable, yeah, and reference var1 is equal to parenthesis, and we just close it. So this is the data type, yeah, and what we do now, reference var1 dot my value is equals to, what do you want, what's your favorite, 75, and that's what you declared, right? Now we will declare another one. Oops. Var reference, instead of var it's 2, yeah, and the 2 is equals to the same what the mechanism I used. I'm assigning reference var2 is equals to reference var1, so they will have a same value of 75, yeah. Now you got to understand a little bit difference. Now what I do, now I'm going to print them. Document dot write inside, yeah, paragraph, and the reference var1 dot my value, that's how we access it, yeah, has a value of is equals to boom, and then we follow the same path, double plus, yeah. In the double plus we will say reference, yeah, var1 dot my value, so it will retrieve the value, and what you do, you close your HTML paragraph tag and you finish it, yeah. In the same way, if I just copy paste it, and I say var1 has a value of reference var, now we'll print it, what happens, the both has same value, but it's been accessing by reference var1 dot my value has a value of 75 and reference var2 my value has value of 75, because I assigned the same value. Because what happened, reference var1 with reference var2 is equal to reference var1. Now this is the thing you need to focus, right? Now I'm changing the value of reference to reference var1 to, yeah, dot my value is equal to 10, right? And now again I'm going to print document don't write paragraph, yeah, oops, reference var1 dot my value as a value, oops, as a value of is equals to, then close it and then put, yeah, and then put double plus. Now bring the variable name, yes, so to display the value, and close your HTML, right? And the same thing, I just copy from here and I paste it down, but I'm changing the value, right, of reference var2 from 1, and the same way 2, right, and just save it. And oops, what happened? I made a mistake. Yes, now I made a mistake, but I need to point to you what happened. They did not print any value. I did it by mistake, but I need to point it what happens if you don't put dot my value when you're printing your variable. That's what happened, because I'm accessing objects there, right? So it says object, 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 object. So what I do, I need to put this like I did above, because it said reference data type my value, then dot my value. See, something, it's good when you make a mistake, so you can explain it more better. This is what I've done. I didn't do it deliberately, it just happened undefined what I did. I made a mistake somewhere. I think I should Yes, syntax value. It did not recognize as a case sensitive. Yeah, so it's 1010. Now in my previous example, right, when I changed my primitive data type, it did not change the value of it from there, right? It only changed the value of primitive var2. But over here, if you go to the code, I just changed the value of reference var2 dot my value is equal to 10. I did not touch reference var1 value. So this is the difference. It's changed the value of both. The reason is, what you need to understand is, the value of var2 dot my value has changed the value of reference var1 dot my value. This is because both reference var1 and reference var2 point to the same data memory. So changing one changed the other two, so impacts on both, right? So if I change it to 40, yeah, so it will impact on the reference var1 dot my value because both are sharing the same location in the memory. See, so this is the primitive data type and this is a reference data type because they share the same memory location, and the same happened in the arrays as well, right? So this is something very important when we're writing a script storing data. So we need to identify whether we are taking up what data type, whether it's a reference data type or it's a primitive data type. If it is quick decisions you're making, so I feel like a primitive data type is good because you're taking a single string or you're taking a value which could be boolean, any number. But when you are printing the list of something, right, you're sharing the memory location, you do the same thing, and that's what you do. Yeah, so in the same way, for example, what I do, let me think, I try to do a little bit for array example. Yeah, so in the array example, let me bring out the array thing. Yeah, and what we do now, for example, in the same script, yeah, I'm just writing a little bit, like you can understand what is happening in the array var, and I'd say like a user names or user names is equal to new array. We are declaring new array, yeah, and we use keyword array. So this is important, the syntax, when we initialize this variable usernames, right, and then is equals to assigning an array, new array. So, we use keyword new and then write down array, and then oops, yeah, and then we start putting individual elements. So I put my name Yusuf, then what I do, I put a comma, right, then I put another one John, then I put another one in the array Musa, and then I put another one, you can say like a Iram, and I put another one Salim, right, and I terminate it. Yeah, now what happened, what I'm going to do, I'm applying another var, yeah, and there's a new like user logins, but don't do it. What I do, I just simply print, yeah, it was taking too long. Document dot write, yeah, and just print user names. Let's see, does it work? See, all of them start coming. So the thing is, I'm just printing document write this variable usernames, but this variable usernames actually has a value of array in a different in the same locations of the memory, but a different element. It's a list actually of names: Yusuf, John, Musa, Aram, Salim. And what I can do, instead of document write, I can do alert. Yeah. So it can come into alert, say Yusuf, John, Musa, and you say okay. So if you just again do it, yeah. So this is the main difference between, I would like to summarize my video now. Yeah, this is the main difference which I explained in this video. It's primitive data type and reference data type. Primitive data type store value or change value on independent values, where reference data type are referencing as the word refers, and if one value gets changed, another will get changed automatically because they are sharing the same memory location. I hope you will like my video and you'll find it quite informative. And if you think you like my video, please press the like button, and also subscribe my channel, because it really encourages and motivates me to bring more informative video for you. Right, till then, thank you very much. Cheers, bye.